My love, what are you at?
My darling.
What are you at?
Well, I am 32 years of age, so don't talk to me like I'm a teenager. I became a priest because I believe in the church, and I don't want the church to die, because I believe in the power of prayer, the power of the spoken word, and because I believe in Christianity. And I take it very, very seriously, being a priest. And I hope you don't mind my saying don't talk to me like a teenager, because I know you're fond of me, so in a way you think of me as a daughter, but it's a very adult decision, and I have a lot of respect for everybody who would be critical. I think it's wise, because yes, you're all absolutely right. A person shouldn't become a priest unless they take it dreadfully seriously. And I thank everyone for their criticism, for want of a better word, because I'm someone who responds well to teachers who will be tough, and I take this as teaching. And it's true, it's been said that people will know me by my fruits, and I wouldn't expect anyone to trust me without getting to see my fruits, but when you see my fruits, you'll see how nourishing and beautiful they are. Okay?
Why are you associated with Bishop Cox?
Well, I like Bishop Cox a lot. He is as innocent as a lamb, but as wise as a serpent, and I identify with that. Okay, people call him a rebel, but the thing is that why he's called a rebel is because the church got rid of the Latin Tridentine Mass, as you know, although people really liked it a lot. But those priests who continue to say the Latin Mass are not accepted as such by the church. So he's thought of as being this rebel, to the extent that he wasn't even allowed to go to his own mother's funeral because he says the Latin Mass, even though every politician in the town could go. Poor Michael couldn't go, you know. So he actually is a very innocent man. He's a very honest and true priest, and you know, a servant of God in the form of truth. And any suggestion that was made by Buckley, who I really admire and love and respect as a matter of interest, that any type of simony took place is absolutely not so.
Okay, I'll come to you in a minute, but do you believe that you are a validly and lawfully ordained priest?
I have been ordained twice as a priest. I took the step of taking back the charitable donation that I made, and
the
also
150,000,
and also being ordained again, so that there wouldn't be any shadow of simony. I consider myself to be a twice ordained priest, as I was called by God to be.
Well, you may be valid, but you're unlawful.
Well, unlawful according to whose law? Not according to God's, because God makes his own priests and priestesses, and we're all born priests actually, and it's not for men to make people priests. And it's equally not for men to say no to God when God is saying yes.
Indeed, but you're not lawful. You are not a validly and lawfully ordained priest of Rome.
Yes, I'm not necessarily accepted by Rome, but I believe I will be eventually. I'm quite confident that Rome has a heart which can be appealed to, and that I come from love and my vocation is true, and it might take them a while to see that, but after a while I believe that they will see that it's true. So I believe it'll be only a matter of time, perhaps years, but only a matter of time before I and other women will be accepted as priests.
So you believe you're validly ordained, but
yes,
not lawfully ordained?
I'm not going to get into answering that question. I am a valid priest, twice ordained, and anyone who wishes to receive any of the sacraments of the Roman Catholic Church from me can do so by contacting me through my bishop, Bishop Cox, at St. Coleman's Church in Cree, County Offaly. Some people believe, great. Those who don't believe don't have to believe. Those who do believe, here I am.
Well, the situation, I know it's highly legalistic, and you would need Paddy McEntee and
Well, no, my bishop is a valid bishop, and I was ordained by a valid bishop, and I am
yes, but not lawfully. Not lawfully. According to Rome, not lawfully. But anyway...
Nothing you can do, Gay Byrne, will invalidate my priesthood.
No, but it's nothing I can do will
you don't have to believe in it if you don't want to, and it's not my job to convince you. Those who do believe, Rastafari.
I'm just asking what you believe. And
Rastafari, Dread-Eye, Rastafari.
Why were you ordained a second time by him?
To cover any danger or suspicion of it being simony.
Yes, which is the sin of buying sacraments.
Now, shall I get on with my song?
Hold on. You said earlier to Jerry that you said the money never got to him because obstacles were put in your way.
Well, no money ever. The money I agreed to give Michael was well after we had arranged my ordination. I made a charitable donation in 2 halves, which was for the building of a healing centre in Offaly, which was for the benefit of the traveller people of Offaly. However, Mr. Buckley, Bishop Buckley, decided to make this seem like simony, so I, to protect myself and my sacred priesthood, took back the money, or rather, luckily the money had never got to his account anyway. but he had agreed if it did, he would give it right back to me. So so we arranged he would give me back, and I took the step of him ordaining me again, so there couldn't be any doubt about it.
Yes. What reaction, Sinead, did you have after you were with Marion on Monday?
A very positive reaction. The media, of course, all give out, but they never represent public opinion. They never did, and they never will. People on the street treat me with the respect and love that I've always been treated with. So.
Yes.
Can I sing my song, please?
No, I want to talk to you a little more. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm very happy.
And we were told that you were going on a retreat.
I am going to stay with my Bishop Cox for about 5 weeks, in a couple of weeks' time, to do some pretty intensive training. And might remind everyone that the apostles were not trained in Scripture when Jesus ordained them. Neither were any of the people that God or Mary ever appeared to on this planet anything but illiterate and lowly people.
Yes.
Also, for all of the scriptures that a person might have learned, that doesn't make them a priest. What makes a person a true priest is their ability to get on the streets and roll up their sleeves and get dirty and get down and speak to people and be a friend and a mother to them. So I'm very good at learning, incidentally, as well, and my heart is in it, so I will learn all the liturgy and all the scriptures and everything else, just as the apostles had to when Jesus ordained them.
Have you said Mass yet?
I have said about 5 Masses.
In Latin or?
Mixture of Latin and English.
Mixture
I've said
both.
some in completely Latin, some in English, some with a good mixture of Latin and English.
Yes. And are you suggesting to me now you're going to stop performing?
No, not at all. No. What I call my Holy Trinity is I am a mother, I am a singer, and I'm a priest. These things are equally sacred to me. That's my Holy Trinity, and I will be true to this.
So you will presumably say Mass regularly, but you'll go on performing as Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah.
And will you wear the garb, or will you go back to wearing your lovely
No, I wear
dresses?
this forever now. I'm going to auction all my clothes off for charity. I'm setting up a charity which will hopefully fund, as well as my singing career, my healing centre at Lourdes, which I'm going to build so that the traveller people can come to Lourdes to have holidays that they wouldn't otherwise get. Or any people at my discretion that I feel could benefit from a trip to Lourdes. So I'm going to set up a charity to fund that, as well as funding it with my own career. But first thing I'm going to do is auction off all my clothes and makeup for that.
And did I read somewhere that you said you were going to be celibate?
Well, I'm contemplating taking the celibacy vow, but my boyfriend has asked me, my bishop, or one of my bishops, Buckley, who incidentally I adore and love, and we challenge each other intellectually, so we actually get on very well. But he advised me to pray about it, which I think is very wise, and my boyfriend has asked me would I mind praying about it for about 25 years. So I'm going to think about it. It's something I want to think about and pray about and take very seriously.
And is your boyfriend in favour of this move?
Yes, very much so. Anybody that knows me and loves me knows how much sense this makes and how true my calling is, and how all women who are called by God have a right to say yes to God. So
I see.
This lady wants to ask a question.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah. I just want to ask you, Sinead, I think I have no problem with you being ordained as a priest, as a woman. I think it's wonderful. And if it gives recognition to the needs for women to be priests in this country, that's great.
Sure.
But what I don't know much or anything about the Tridentine Church, but I have an idea that it's probably very conservative. The old Latin Church, and that worries me because that's very patriarchal.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that.
Well, Bishop Cox particularly is extremely conservative, and was absolutely adamantly against women priests for a long
Well,
time.
that's what I wonder about.
I'm glad you asked that question, because what I think is a beautiful symbolism happening here is that this is the old traditionalists holding hands with the funky new people, and the funky new people holding hands with the old traditionalists, because you cannot have one without the other. It's very important to keep this church alive, that we keep what is good about the old and bring in what's good about the new, but you cannot have one without the other. You've got to respect. So I like the symbolism of myself and the old tradition holding hands, what I represent as, say, a rock